Well, howdy folks, welcome back to the old wood shop. Coming to you again from the lower level of world headquarters. Beautiful suburban Cedar Rapids, Iowa. And we're still working on that piece of maple burl. And I think this is video number 6. It's not that this is such a great piece of art or anything like that we've spent time putting 6 episodes on it, but what I'd hoped to do was to show the project pretty much from the beginning to the conclusion. And today's going to be the conclusion, although it will be several days yet. I'm going to put some finish on here, and then this will be the beginning, and it'll take maybe 3, 4, maybe 5 days. But this is basically what it's going to look like. So anyway, we're going to start here. We're going to put some tung oil on it, and we'll start with the bark, and apply a coat. It's going to, as usual, this will soak up pretty rapidly by the wood here, and being this piece of wood is carved in kind of a larger in the center. The diameter is larger in the center than it is at the exterior. That means that to carve it, we had to reach inside and kind of scoop it out. What that also means is that the sanding is more difficult, and it's hard to get it really adequately sanded, but I know you've heard me say before, it's probably good enough. Most people don't pay that much attention to it anyway. So the thing about this piece is it is maple. It is actually soft maple, but with the burl in it, that part is interesting and is actually pretty hard. So this piece is mostly just maple. There's very little burl in it. So I'm not going to try and add any color to this, because we could simply make it very black or very green, or we could make a much kind of a warmer brown. But I think that in this instance, I think that the natural color here, I think will be is probably the best we can do. I think it'll look all right. So it's soaking up pretty fast. We're going to have to use a little more finish. So I'll dump some in the little container here, and we'll do the inside. Apologize for the setup. If a guy had more access to personnel to man the camera, we could have somebody following this around with the camera, and people could see the whole process. But we don't have that, and it's the same old story. The management thinks that I probably spend too darn much time trying to show what happens behind the scenes, where there's really very little evidence that anybody cares that much about it. But when it's your thing, why you tend to concentrate on showing that. Think people ought to see what the process is to get it done. So I think our philosophy. We get a lot of requests, of course, but typically we just do our thing and kind of hope for the best. So we're going to go to some power here. I hope they don't want to go that way. I want to go forward. Maybe that way. So yeah, I can see it when I look in the camera here. Can't see very much. Well, you know, at some point in the future, we'll get adequate funding where we can put on a little better show. In the meantime, I appreciate your patience and bearing with this process, which I think we need a little more. We're going to put a little more on here. Yeah. I use up the excess out here on the bark. It never gets very shiny anyway. You know, I still got a couple places where the bark got tore off, and we weren't able to find it and glue it back on. But I think that's going to be a minor difficulty here. So there's kind of what it's going to look like. I'll get her off the lathe here so you can see it just a little bit better. Won't be very glossy at this point. Natural edge bowl. Okay, thanks for watching. You guys have a good day.